Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances of Lord Srila Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to morning Bhagavatam class. This morning we will be hearing from His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we request devotees to please increase your volume due to the recording. And also if we can all take one takeaway, at least one that we can share and discuss at the end of the class. It's very important that we test our hearing by having one takeaway, by getting at least one takeaway from the class. So without further delay, we'll start right into the class. Hare Krishna.
Hare We'll play all. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Rangana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Rangana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Rangana Jamuna Tira Banakati Jamuna Tira Banakari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Bodhanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayam Smat Paramhangsa Paribrajagacharya Astatala Saraswat Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai Ramacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय नवद्वीप धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय जमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय स्वामी भक्तवृंद की जय ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असमल लॉर्ड ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असमल लॉर्ड All glories to the Asama. Thank you very much.
Verse 7. Srila Prabhupada, it's third chapter, verse number 7.
That's all right. Third chapter.
Third chapter. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Dvitiyam tu Bhavayasya Rasatala Gatam Mahim Udarishyan Upadatta Jagyesha Sokaram Vapu Tvitiyang tu bhavayasya Rasatalagatam mahim Rasatalagatam mahim Udarisyan upadatta Jagyeshak sokaram vapu Jagyesha sokaram vapu Dvitiyang tu bhavayasya Rasatalagatam mahim Rasatalagatam mahim Udarisyan upadatta Jagyeshak sokaram vapu Jagyeshak sokaram vapu Dvitiyang tu bhavayasya Rasatalagatam mahim Udarishyan upadatta Jagyeshak sokaram vapu Jagyeshak sokaram vapu Dvitiyang tu bhavayasya Rasatalagatam mahim Udarishyan upadatta Jagyeshak sokaram vapu
Dvitiyang tu bhavayasya Rasatalagatam mahim Udarishyan upadatta Jagyesha sokaram vapu
Dvitiyam tu bhavayasya
Dvitiyam Yubhavayasya
Satalagatam mahim
Prasadam Gatim
Udarisyanupadata
Udarishyam Upadata
Vigneshak Sokaram Vapu
Yagyejak Sokaram Vabu Dvitiyam Yubhavayasya Prasadalagatam mahim Udarisyanupadata Yagyejak Sokaram Vabu
Dvitiyam tu bhavayasya
Dvitiyam Yubhavayasya
Rasatalagatam mahim
Prasadalagatam mahim
Udarisyanupadata
Udarisyanupadata
Yagnesha Sokaram Vapu
Yagyejak Sokaram Vabu
Dvitiyam tu bhavayasya
Dvitiyam Yubhavayasya
Satalagatam mahim
Prasadalagatam mahim
Udarisyanupadata
Udarisyanupadata
Yagyesha Sokaram Vapu
Yagyejak Sokaram Vabu
Ladies.
Dvitiyam Yubhavayasya Prasadalagatam mahim Udarisyanupadata Yagyejak Sokaram Vabu Dvitiyam Yubhavayasya Prasadalagatam mahim Udarisyanupadata Yagyejak Sokaram Vabu Dvitiyam Yubhavayasya Prasadalagatam mahim Udarisyanupadata Yagyejak Sokaram Vabu Dvitiyam the second two but Bhavaya for welfare Asya of this earth Rasatola the lowest Gotam having gone Mahim the earth Uddarisyan lifting up Upadata established Jagyesha the proprietor or the supreme enjoyer Sokaram hoggish Vapu incarnation Translation The supreme enjoyer of all sacrifices accepted the incarnation of a boar, the second incarnation, and for the welfare of the earth, he lifted the earth up from the nether regions of the universe.
So, this universe is
Hare Krishna devotees, it seems that there is a duplicate because we played this verse last 2 weeks ago, even though it's 138, but they are reciting 137 and the transcription is 138. I'm just going to go a little forward to see if it changes with the transcription. Then let's see what happens. So please bear with me.
So, at the present moment we cannot find such demons, but there were demons like that. The whole planetary system is floating, but there may be some demon who can take one of them and put within the water. The planets are floating, that is known to everyone.
So it is not consistent. So we are going to go to the next verse. 139. That way we can hear Srila Prabhupada's lecture. Let's take that from there. Okay, this one has no audio. Krishna is playing tricks on us today. So let me go through 1310, Radhastami. Okay, this is beautiful. Now that we have Radhastami coming up in like less than 2 weeks, we can hear this class. So we will start the class again. Forgive me, Prabhus, and thank you for your patience. Hare Krishna.
वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तबिंद की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तबिंद की जय. All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 10. Panchamah Kapilo Nama Siddhesha Kala Viplutam Provacha Asuraye Sankyam Tattva Grama Vinirnayam Panchamah Kapilo Nama Siddheshah Kala Viplutam Provacha Suraye Sankyam Tattvagrama Vinirnayam Panchamah Kapilo Nama Siddheshah Kala Viplutam Provacha Suraye Sankyam Tattvagrama Vinirnayam Panchamah Kapilo Nama Siddheshah Kala Viplutam Provacha Suraye Sankyam Tattvagrama Vinirnayam
Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddhesha Kala Viplutam Provacha Surye Sankyam Tattvagrama Vinirnayam Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddhesha Kala Viplutam Provacha Surye Sankyam Tattvagrama Vinirnayam
Panchama Kapilo Nama Siddhesha Kala Viplutam
Siddhesha Kala Viplutam
Pravacha Surye Sankyam
Pravacha Suraye Sankam
Tattva Grama Vinirnayam
Tattva Virinayam
Panchama Kapilo Nama
Panchama Kapilo Nama
Shakra Viplutam
Siddhesha Kala Viplutam
Pravacha Surya Sankham
Pravacha Suraye Sankam
Tattvagrama Vinirnayam
Tattva Virinayam
Panchama Kapilo Nama
Panchama Kapilo Nama
Siddhesa Kala Viplutam
Siddhesha Kala Viplutam Siddhesha Kala Viplutam
Time. Viplutam. Lost. Provacha. Said. Asuraye. Unto the Brahmana named Asuri. Sankyam. Metaphysics. Tattvagrama. The sum total of the creative elements. Vinirnayam. Exposition. Translation. The fifth incarnation, named Lord Kopila, is foremost among perfected beings. He gave an exposition of the creative elements and metaphysics to Asuri Brahmana, for in course of time this knowledge had been lost.
So, Sankham. Sankham means, Sam means complete, Kham means description. Complete description of creation. Kala Viplutam. There is complete description how this cosmic manifestation is created. But people forget it. Kala Viplutam. So this knowledge existing since the time of creation. Everything materially created has got 6 stages. The first stage is creation, and the second stage is growth. The third stage is maintenance. This fourth stage is production. The fifth stage is dwindling, and the sixth stage vanishing. This is anything material. The scientists, they are very much busy. Just this morning, our scientist, Sarup Damodar, was speaking about an article. The scientists are very much busy that the source of supply is being decreased. Just like petroleum. Petroleum gas, that is diminishing. The whole modern materialistic civilization is depending on the motor cars and aeroplanes, transportation. If the petroleum supply stops, then what will be the condition of the society? Formerly there was no need of going to see a friend 30 miles away, because every friend was within the village. Now because we have got motor car, we create friendship with a man who lives 50 miles away. We accept a job 50 miles away. In Hawaii, our Gaurasundar was going to attend office 50 miles off. By 50 miles off, in big cities like New York, Calcutta, we have seen people are coming to attend their office from 100 miles off. I have seen also in aeroplane there are many people, I have seen in England, many workers or gentlemen, they are coming from Glasgow to London for working by aeroplane. So, we have created a civilization that we have created a facility for transport by motor car or by aeroplane, but side by side we have created another difficulty that a man has to go to his work 300 miles away, side by side. Formerly, a man used to work on his field, a few steps from his house. Now we have created facility of transport, therefore you have to go to work 300 miles away from home. This is the position. But they have no brain. They are thinking, they are advancing. Advancing in this way that for my livelihood I have to go 300 miles, 3 hours at least, not less than 3 hours, or 6 hours. I have to spoil. Then I can go to my office. Then I work there whole day and again come, again 6 hours. Then I come at night to sleep along with my family for 3 hours. Yes, this is our facility. Yes. There is a story, not story, it is a fact. One day, one grown-up child was asking his mother, "Who is this gentleman?" The father was there. So, the mother said, "He is your father, my dear child." So he did not see his father until he grew 3 years or 4 years old. Because when he was child, the father was rising early in the morning. At that time child was sleeping. And he was going to office. And when he comes back, the child was sleeping. So unless the child grew 4 years old, he could not see his father. Is it not the position of this? It is a story or an instruction, because the gentleman was going office early in the morning. They start at 6 o'clock from home to catch the first train. We have seen in Calcutta. First train is 7 o'clock. And they come in Calcutta after 2 hours at 9 o'clock. Then attends office. And again he catches another train, 5 o'clock, he goes late at night. And Bombay has big cities. This is the position. So, we are advancing in science, but at the same time, the so-called science, at the same time we are creating many disadvantages. Many disadvantages. From practical experience, I say that when I came to your country, in India, it is very difficult to get a telephone. You have to wait in the waiting list at least for 2 years. Or you have to bribe the authorities, say 5,000, 2,000, like that. So now, when I got this facility of telephone, because as soon as I deposited $40, the next day the telephone was in my room. So I was very glad. But after getting my telephone, I was disturbed always. some of my students asking, phoning me, cring, and Swamiji, how are you feeling? At 12 o'clock at night. So I asked him, it is the time to inquire. I am very sorry. Not only one, I became so much disturbed. Then I asked them, get out this telephone. Yes. So, try to understand the so-called facility of the modern science means creating so many difficulties also. That is the position. Just like formerly a preacher could not come to your country, say 50 years or 100 years ago. So he was preaching within his limit. But we have got not facilities, so we are preaching everywhere. So from Krishna consciousness, we can utilize all facilities in the proper channel, but not materially. Now we are utilizing this facility of aeroplane. That means we are getting good chance for serving Krishna. But others, materialists, they are getting this facility so that his child cannot recognize him. So we can take all facilities. So therefore we are actually utilizing the scientific improvement for the benefit of the people. The karmis, they cannot. They are in difficulties in the actually. So the Sankhya philosophy is analytical study of the elements of creation. Sammak khayate. Sammak means completely khayat. So how? First of all there was vibration, then from vibration there was sky, creation, beginning of creation, and then from sky there was sound, then from sound there was air, then from air there was electricity or fire, then from electricity there was water, and from water there is land. This is shortly described. Then how this mind is created, intelligence is created, how the control are created, these are described in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam also, in many places. So it is not that we are simply chanting and dancing, that is the ultimate goal of life, but we know how this creation has taken place, how it is being maintained, how it will be annihilated, what will happen after annihilation, everything we know by the Sankhya philosophy. But they do not know. The so-called scientists, they are troubled what will happen next. That is the... So Kapila Muni is incarnation of God. He describes the Sankhya philosophy and Bhakti Yoga in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. His instructions are there. He was giving instruction to his mother, Devahuti. His father left him under the care of the mother. He went to forest for liberation. So, when he grew up, he instructed his mother. He is known, Kapila Deva is known as Devahiti Putra, the son of Devahiti. All incarnation of God is famous especially by mother's name. Just like Krishna is famous by Jasodanandan, Devaki Nandan. He is very much pleased when his name is made in connection with his mother and father. Nandanandan, Vasudeva Nandan. Similarly, here also Devahuti Nandan. Devahuti Putra Kapila. So this Kapila Deva, Sankhya philosophy, has described how the elements came in, how the subtle elements, mind, intelligence developed, how these gross elements, earth, water, fire, all these gross elements developed. So there are 8 elements, namely they are described in Bhagavad Gita also, 5 gross elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether. These are gross elements, and the subtle or finer elements are the mind, intelligence, ego. These are 8 elements. And the subjects of sense perception and 10 sense organs. 10 sense organs, 5 subject matter of sense perception, 15, and these 8 elements, material elements, 15 and 8, 23, and Abhakta are the living entity, and then God. In this way, the whole philosophy is described, that is called Sankhya philosophy. The Sankhya philosophy is always there, Kala Viplutam. In due course of time, everything becomes invisible and unknown. Just like Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita was spoken long, long ago, before speaking to Arjuna. Imam vivasati yogam praktavanahamam. Therefore, all Vedic knowledge, they are not research knowledge. They are existing always, since the time of creation. These so-called scientists, they are simply wasting their time by so-called research work. There is nothing to be researched. Everything is there. Every knowledge is there. How to make your life perfect, that is also there. But they would not consult this knowledge. They will try to make research and waste time and waste money, public money, and pass on as great scientists, philosophers, leaders, politicians, and mislead people without any factual knowledge. Now they are thinking at the present moment, the scientists, the things are diminishing. Actually, they will diminish. It is already stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It will so diminish that there will be no more wheat, no more rice, no more food grains, no more fruits, and no more milk, no more sugar. It will finish. Simply you have to eat stones and seeds and flesh. You learn. And the politician will go on exploiting you. Everything is written there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. You consult 12th canto, beginning from 2nd chapter, you will see all these things are mentioned. People will decrease their span of life, their intelligence, memory, their propensity for mercifulness and duration of life, so many things that will be reduced. And you are seeing they are being reduced. And people are becoming vagabonds. That is also stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that when I first read in India this statement, Lavannam Kesa Dharanam, that in this age, dwindling age, people will think of himself. One will think he has become very beautiful by keeping long hairs. That is also mentioned. So when I came to your country, I saw these young people are keeping long hairs. So immediately it was corroborated. Similarly, everything is described there. The Dampatte Rotimevo, he, husband and wife relationship means sex. This is the age. As soon as the husband will be unable to satisfy his wife by sex, he will find out another husband and file divorce. These are stated already in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and these are happening. And a man, when he lived for 20 to 30 years, he will be considered a grand old man. These are all stated. So why research? You concern Vedic literature, you have got all information. All information, everything. How the world is created, how it will be annihilated, how it is being maintained, who is the supreme in this management, everything is there. That is called Sankhya philosophy. Everything is there. So Kapila Dev, he gave us this Sankhya philosophy. Later on, there was another, he imitated, he also named himself a Kapila, and he gave the same philosophical process, Sankhya Kapila. There is Nirisha, he is godless. Because all the scientists, all the philosophers in this age, their only tendency is how to get out God, no more God. That is very primitive. To talk of God is a primitive idea. Now we are advanced in science, why we shall talk about God? This is the tendency. This is the tendency. But how you can solve all these questions without accepting God? Without accepting a supreme source of everything, how you can solve? It is not possible. You are simply a product of this cosmic manifestation. Your brain, your teeny brain, is composed of some muscles and veins. That is product of this material world. You cannot even produce a brain. Just consider. Can you produce a brain? You are eulogizing a great scientist like Professor Einstein. All right, why not Professor Einstein creating a brain like him? Why? What is the difficulty? He may create a brain like him and keep it in the glass case so that there will be no shortage of scientific men. But why he dies? Why he dies? Who is forcing him to death? Why he becomes diseased? Why he becomes old man? Who is controlling? So, to accept the supreme controller is a must question. You must. Without it, you cannot go forward. You must have to accept. We can appreciate the brain of a scientist, but how worthy he is who has created that brain. We are seeing to that person who has created, not to the brain. Just like a child appreciates a motor car, how it is running. But his father appreciates the driver, how the driver is running nicely. So therefore, we should not be surprised by the creation or the working of material nature. We should appreciate who is conducting, who is the background of this material nature. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Maya dhakshina prakriti sati sacharacharam hetunani na kaunteya Jagadvi parivartate. He says, Maya dhakshena, under my direction, Krishna says. Prakriti, this material nature, is working. Maya dhakshena. Just see how he is working. How Prakriti is working. And just like in this month in your country, it is called fall, September. After a few days, so many trees will fall, all the leaves will fall down. Again in April, immediately millions of trees will grow, immediately, all. If you have to manufacture this leaf, one after another and set up in the tree, just see how much difficult it will be. But by the laws of nature, by God's energy, immediately, within a few days, millions of trees are getting their leaves again, and millions of trees they are falling. Millions of fruits are coming out. Similarly, all this cosmic manifestation came into existence simply by the will of God. Not that, just like in season there are hundreds and thousands and millions of fruits. You haven't got to create each fruit. Finally, this season is there. The fruits are already immediate. Similarly, when God says, let there be creation, millions of planets immediately create. That is God. Not that cheap God. I am God. And in your country, they come and you become cheated. We don't accept such cheap God. We want this God. Simply by His will, millions of universes are created. Jasyaika nishasita kalamathavalamba jivanti lomo vilaja jagadannanatha. Vishnu mahanasa yajasa kala visesho govindamadi purisam tama. We are not seeking after a cheap God, a real God. That is Krishna. That is Krishna. Govindamadi purisam tamang bhajami. So we are not so fooled that why we shall make research. Everything is there. So you are confident, we know what is going to happen next, what is going to happen. It is not astrology. It is everything is there in the Vedic knowledge. Veda means knowledge, full knowledge. You take advantage of it and become learned. Thank you.
So we just heard a very wonderful lecture by Srila Prabhupada. Amazing lecture, as always, as usual. And would like to ask devotees if you have any takeaways that you would like to share, any thoughts, any reflections, please do mute yourself and share your thoughts. Your takeaways would be very, very, very appreciative so that we can all learn from your takeaways and we can have a nice discussion. Or you can put it in the post and I will be happy to read it out. So one of my takeaways from this class was I appreciated how Srila Prabhupada described the 6 stages of material creation. I've heard, death, old age, birth, disease, old age, and death. But to see the 3 stages, or 6 stages explained by Srila Prabhupada was a very nice takeaway for me. The first stage is creation, second stage is growth, third stage is maintenance, fourth stage is production, fifth stage is dwindling, and sixth stage is vanishing. So this was a very nice takeaway for me that I appreciated. From Srila Prabhupada, I learned something new today. I don't recall hearing this, but I'm happy that I got this because it's definitely a very strong takeaway for me to learn the 6 stages of material creation. So that was my takeaway. Any other takeaways from devotees? Any thoughts? Any reflection? At least one would be, nice. You can unmute yourself. You don't have to be shy. What we all can learn from each other. We have about, aside from myself, we have about 9 attendees online. So 10 total. Yes, Colby, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can you hear me well?
Yes, very clear.
Okay. Please accept my obeisances. All glory to
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada. All glories
Jai.
to you. So I really appreciate it. I'm here at work. I was having some few technical difficulties. So unfortunately I was missing bits and pieces here and there, but I did catch the story of the man whose son didn't see him for the first time till he was 3 years old, and that really just kind of floored me. It's like we could be doing everything that we think is materially successful, but unless we have the right frame of mind, unless we're looking at what's really important in our lives spiritually and familially, we can just really lose touch with things, and really in the process of what we think is doing good, we can just hurt ourselves and the ones we love and the planet. And it was, for me, that was a really short but powerful story. Thank you.
Thank
Hi, Bo.
you. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Kobe, for sharing it. It's really powerful because, and that happens a lot in household life, when the one spouse, especially the father, is working so hard and, going out in the morning, coming out at night, and the kids hardly see the father. And once the child comes to a stage in their life, like 3-4 years, where they become more cognitive or more aware, then they realize, wait, I didn't see this man for so long. And then it kind of affects relationships among family members too. Yes. Because the life is so crazy that it makes us become like horses. There's one lecture where Prabhupada says they become like asses, So we become like animals that we forget. We just go in and go out and go in and go out. Yes, that's a really powerful takeaway. Thank you for sharing, Colby. Very nice. There's a nice one from Jit Mitra. He said, Hare Krishna Mataji, I like the point that technology for sense gratification brings misery. Oh, yeah. But technology for Krishna brings its actual utility. Yeah, that's a really good takeaway, Jit Mitra. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it's sometimes we can get caught up in the latest technology, the latest machines, the latest what have you. And then next thing you know, we spend so much time fixing the latest technology, learning the latest technology, spending so much time and effort and energy. And it just brings misery. Absolutely. I mean, cars is one big thing that we see in today's time and age, right? The latest this, latest that. And we fix it, we put on the road, we fix it, we put on the road. It brings misery. Absolutely. That's a nice takeaway. Thank you for sharing that. If you're able to, Jit Mitra, can you unmute yourself and share more of your realization from this quote that wait, he just left. Okay, he's not here. Okay, he just left. Okay, anyone else? Yes, Mamina, go right ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for today's class. And I just missed my exit. Technology.
That happened to me 2 nights ago. I missed my exit. Rather than picking up my kids from school, I end up at the airport in Harrisburg. I know that feeling. I'm sorry. You know what, Mamina, why don't you get you on your route and then you can speak. What do you think?
That's okay. I got it. I caught up.
Okay,
And,
good. Perfect. Go right ahead.
yeah, I just wanted to share like same like Jit Mitra Prabhu. He said like technology and misery are so parallel.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
the way
much.
he was talking, like I paid $50 for the phone, and then this has happened, and then he's like, take it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he was so irritated with that facility. His tone just
The
expressed everything.
telephone.
Distract-
I'm telling you, and if we see, right, we have cell phones, and sometimes
Yeah.
like I had to mute one of my notification because at 3 in the morning is ping ping. I'm like, what the? I need to sleep. So I had to mute my notifications. Yeah, so I can definitely relate to, a little bit to what Sri Prabhupada is mentioning, get this thing out. Their telephone is so noisy.
And also, I liked Colby Prabhu sharing the way he explained that floored me. That floored me. That was so nice. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a very, very good realization. And that is, I think today we see those kind of things very, very clearly in the families. And it is like very, very painful.
Yes. Very painful. It's sad because, we have to drive, we have to spend so many hours. I mean, I know for me, when I was living in Gitanagari and working in Harrisburg, I had to drive a lot. I spent 16 hours on the road in a week. It was very, very stressful. And I did most of my quote unquote raising of my children and talking to them, communicating. Actually, I spent most of my communication with my kids in the car, because they were always with me. But yeah, it's sad, we have to use what we have, because we spend so much time on the road, so much time driving, so much time, going to work and spending hours and hours, and then we lose track of our spiritual life. And yeah, that's a powerful point by Colby. I agree. Very nice. Very nice point. Thank you for sharing that, Mamina. And Jit Mitra shared another of his realizations that one more point Sri Prabhupada nicely explains. Creation is beautiful, but we just need to appreciate and recognize the person behind this creation, the chief engineer. Yes. A very nice point, Jit Mitra. We get so caught up in our daily lives that we forget to appreciate and recognize the immediate surroundings, like sometimes when I used to go for a walk, sometimes I see a red cardinal bird, a blue jay bird, and sometimes we don't take time to really see, wow, Krishna's beautiful handiworks, blue jay bird, the red cardinal, the flowers. Like sometimes we go through these walks, or we go through life, and we do not really see the chief engineer behind the creation. Yeah, there's this saying, I think, we always think that the grass is greener on the other side, but the grass is green everywhere. We just don't take the time to really see that the grass is greener within our hand reach. Are we appreciating that? Are we really, recognizing, as you shared, Jit Mitra, are we recognizing the chief engineer behind this creation? Yeah, it's really important. Thank you for sharing that nice takeaway, Jit Mitra. Thank you. Any other takeaways from devotees? Any thoughts? Any reflections? Any realization? And if there isn't, would like to share, I'm sorry, that was Dear Krishna. I'm sorry, Dear Krishna, Hare Krishna. I apologize. That was by Dear Krishna, the point of creation is beautiful, but we just appreciate and recognize the person behind the scene, behind the Krishna. That is actually the post reflection by Dear Krishna, not Jit Mitra. I apologize, Dear Krishna. I wasn't seeing the name. Yes, beautiful, beautiful thought. Beautiful thought. Yes, sometimes I feel that, life is so crazy, just like Sri Prabhupada was sharing, right? Life is so crazy, life is so fast. Technology, there's some way he said, tech, I think I wrote it down. Let me check. Yeah, I did. He said, so-called facility of the modern science means creating so many difficulties also, because we do not take time to appreciate what we have, the beauty that we have. We don't take time to appreciate what is within our reach, and we think that facility and technology is going to make life easy. It's going to bring more misery. So that was a powerful point, that Sri Prabhupada is reminding us that advanced technology does not mean easy way of life. Advanced technology creating creating facilities after facilities and all that, it means creating more confusion, more bondage, and more difficulties and more misery, pretty much. So that's what Sri Prabhupada is reminding us, how we should make our lives very simple. Don't make it so complicated. Then we get caught in it. So that was a nice one too. If there are no points from devotees, just a quick reminder, please to join us this evening with Balabhadra Prabhu on our Bhagavad Gita Circle reading program. We are continuing chapter 14, the three modes of material nature. So please to join us at 6 o'clock with Balabhadra Prabhu. Until then, thank you all for joining and sharing your wonderful reflections and realizations from Srila Prabhupada's lecture. Vansha Prabhupada Kripa Sindhabevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Have a wonderful day, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Did you hear?
Yes, Hare Krishna.